Four Roses was once the world's most popular bourbon until its Canadian owner discontinued U.S. sales. Foreign markets kept the brand alive for decades, and one of the holdovers from that period is Four Roses Super Premium that sold exclusively in Japan. It can be hard to find in the U.S. Is it worth the effort? If you want to find out, then stick around. So we have to disclose where we got this bottle from. Yeah. And a friend of ours that is also a reviewer of the podcast had a business trip to Japan and offered to pick up a bottle.
That's so nice.
Yes. And I have only been in possession of this bottle one other time. And somebody donated it for a fundraiser. And
couldn't have it?
I couldn't have it.
Couldn't drink it.
I had it, but I couldn't do anything with it. I couldn't even taste it. Although I did taste it one time in a bar in Louisville.
Okay.
Yeah, years and years ago. And I enjoyed it, but I always wanted a bottle because, you know, the history was interesting. So the story I was telling in the intro, the gentleman that discontinued Four Roses in the U.S. was Samuel Boffman. And he had purchased the Four Roses distillery with his enormous fortune that he made bootlegging whiskey into the United States during Prohibition. So as soon as Prohibition ended, he wanted to go legal. He bought Four Roses distillery. And Four Roses was the number one selling bourbon in the United States in the 1940s, 50s, and into the 60s. And he became jealous of the bourbon brand's high sales volume because he wanted Canadian whiskey to be number one. And so he discontinued Four Roses bourbon in the U.S. and kind of pushed it over to foreign markets. And the Japanese kind of adopted the brand. And they've supported it for all these years. And this product was originally designed to appeal to the Japanese whiskey drinking market.
Okay.
So let's talk about the bottle. The distillery is Four Roses. The SKU is Super Premium Japan only. It is a non-age stated product, but there are rumors out there. And I only found it on one website and then I stopped looking. So I don't know how true this is. But it says that 80% of the bourbon was aged for 8 years and 20% is aged for 10 or more years.
Interesting.
So again, they're not required to disclose the age statement, so we don't really know. The proof is 86 proof, which was a very popular proof for premium Scotch whiskey whenever this brand was being developed in Japan. Okay. And so I think that, you know, when they were trying to grow Four Roses in Japan, they were competing with premium Scotch, so they probably matched the proof so that the ethanol level matched what the consumer's palate was looking for. The price is around $50 or $60 US, but it's in, Japan, so, conversion rates and so on and so forth. The size is 750 milliliters. And what do you say we taste this bad boy up?
Let's do it.
All right. So not a lot of ethanol on the nose.
I was wondering if I needed to switch glasses to a Glen.
So we get a little more burn?
Yeah, something. It's really light and kind of perfumey.
Perfumey is a good description. Yeah. Yeah, so this falls in alignment with pretty much all Four Roses products that I've had in that it's very floral. So we have a scent in our aroma kit that's just called floral, and it's a mixture of several different flower components, and it's definitely got that in there. But this one also has something that we have in our kit that was a popular tasting note for Jackie Zykin when she was still with Old Forester. Yeah, and it's heliotrope, which is basically what
baby powder,
baby oil.
Yeah, like baby oil.
What baby oil smells like.
And it's got some of that.
It's got some of it in there for sure.
But so. That could honestly fall a little bit into the, floral category too, because
well, heliotrope's
a flower.
So yeah. And then I get cherry on all Four Roses products.
Yeah. And I don't get as much cherry, but I get apple because it's like got that light kind of crisp situation.
Come on, get the apple out.
Okay, I'm in the apple. We've had this kit for how many years? 4 years. And I still don't have the numbers memorized. See, I definitely get apple, but you get cherry.
Yeah, I don't get the apple. I get cherry. Everyone's palate's different, folks. And I get a light tropical fruit as well.
Yeah.
Which for us, our tropical fruit is kind of a mixture of I think it's like guava and pineapple or something.
I mean, I try to go online and see what people are saying. Someone said honeydew, and I feel like that's like a good summary, kind of fruit. I mean, it's not in our kit.
No. That's okay.
But I can see how you'd get that. Yeah, I think that's
tropical
fair.
Fruits in there, and then I got a little bit of peach.
Yes.
Which every time I get peach in a whiskey, that Dead President song starts playing in my head. Mm-hmm. And then Little Blue Dune Buggy.
Yeah. And then we listen to it all day.
So true.
Yeah, that makes me want to make a cocktail out of peaches.
Peach cocktail with some Four Roses in there.
Yeah.
And Four Roses has a higher rye mash bill.
Okay.
And so I actually get a little bit of spice on this one, which I'm going to characterize as clove. A little bit of clove on the palate. It's not cinnamony. It's like more clovey.
Cinnamony?
Cinnamony. Is that that's not even a word.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean maybe like a touch of it, but that's aggressive.
This is intense. But
that's aggressive.
There's a little bit of a
but maybe like
a baking spice
maybe it
note.
just like wafted over.
Yeah. Maybe nutmeg's closer. I don't know. Yeah, but there's a bit of a baking spice note in there. So, on a 100-point scale, how would you rate this bad boy?
I'm going to tell you that I feel bad about this.
Okay.
Because I like Four Roses as a brand, and I always feel like I have to take those things into consideration.
You don't. You're rating it based on flavor.
I know. It has nice flavor, but it is lower proof, and I like higher proof whiskeys. So, I just feel like...
All right, so where you at?
Like 80s, somewhere in the high 80s, maybe 88.
High 80s.
Well, no, I'm not even high 80s.
Not even okay. Say it.
I don't know. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
You're not gonna hurt anyone's feelings.
I don't know, 85.
85?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go lower than that.
I'm gonna go lower.
Yeah.
I feel bad going lower. It's very lovely.
Do you want the audience to trust us? You have to tell them the truth.
Yeah, but somebody out there loves this. That's why it's... You think,
There are plenty of people out there that love this.
Yes.
This was not made for us.
Okay.
This was made for people who are accustomed to drinking lower proof spirits, and they don't... Now, granted, at 86 proof, it's got a good bit of flavor.
It's got a lot of flavor.
But just based on flavor, I'm going to be probably 82.
Okay.
Something like that. Ironically, I would... Because I always use Wild Turkey 101 as kind of my barometer when I'm doing these ratings. So Wild Turkey 101 is going to be in the low 80s for me, like at 81, 82. And so even though this is only 86 proof, Desert Island, I've got a bottle of Wild Turkey 101 in this. I think I'd visit both of them equally.
Sure.
So I'm going to put this in that.
I mean, if you're able to get it at the $50 or $60 from Japan, I mean, secondary, I saw for $169, $189, $225.
Yeah.
I absolutely would not do that at all.
No.
But so, at $50 or $60, I mean,
at $50, $60, I'm a buy.
Nice.
It's a novelty to have in the house. Yeah. The flavor's good. I'm not a buy it and back it up. I don't want cases of this stuff. I'd buy it if I finish it and I got an opportunity to get another one. I get another one. Yeah. But secondary price, absolutely not. Hard pass.
Yeah.
So let's give away some whiskey.
Yeah.
So what I thought would be cool on this giveaway is that the regular Four Roses small batch, which I tried to see which recipes from Four Roses because there's the different yeast strengths and the different and 2 different mash bills, and it makes these different recipes, and they disclose what recipes go into the small batch, but they don't disclose what goes into the super premium.
Yeah.
And so, but they're pretty similar in proof. So the regular small batch is 90. And this is 86,
okay,
obviously.
that's close.
And so I thought, let's do, because everyone got excited about our last blind.
Oh.
So let's do a blind sample pack, because this is readily available. You can get it anywhere for a very reasonable price, way less money than this. And so I want to see whether or not the people pick the U.S. version that's cheap and easy to find, or if they like the Japanese super premium that is very difficult to get a hold of.
Did anyone notice me trying to pull the screw top?
It is a screw top.
There was just a little nudge.
She's expecting a cork.
I'm just for my own. You keep talking. I'm just gonna have a little splashy poo. That's what I need on a shirt. Speaking of all the shirts I've been making.
Yeah, I need a splashy poo shirt.
A splashy poo shirt.
Yeah, so let's do 3 1-ounce samples.
Okay.
Because we're almost out.
Okay.
Of course, I can buy another one.
Yeah.
But 3 1-ounce samples, blind sample packs. You're gonna get a small batch and a super premium. And you're not going to find out which is which until after you report your results to Chrissy Lynn. And the way that you enter this free giveaway is to like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to be notified of future content pieces and future giveaways, because there's a giveaway in every episode.
Yep.
Fill out the web form in the video description below, giving us your basic information. We run a randomizer, post it through post on our YouTube channel, so there's accountability. Reach out to the winners, get your address, and ship your samples absolutely for free. So why don't you tell them how they can support the channel?
Well, we have a Patreon. I joke that I'm going to say it that way every time because everybody says it different. But we've got lots of levels, something for every budget, but we tried to cram pack that full of all kinds of good stuff. So we have distillery takeovers, in-person meetups. I always like my brain just gets foggy.
It's okay. There's so many benefits she can't even remember them.
And I mean, it's a lot of really good, fun things.
Right.
Like it's created a community of its own. When we do these distillery takeovers, Randy plans all of the meals and kind of
we
the whole
eat at epic
itinerary.
restaurants. We have private tours. We get to meet famous people in the whiskey world and get bottles signed. And we released a single barrel. It's a whole vibe.
It's a good time.
And it's as little as $5 per month. So check it out. We also have all the wonderful merch on the website you built and the merch that you went and found.
Speaking of,
this
so we got we use the good. I think some of the shirts are Belling canvas. This one is next level, and it's super comfy. The glasses that we created just for American Spirits.
Yeah, Roma kit you see us using. We have a lot of great things out there. I'm particularly fond of our bottle bags. Yeah. Because they were custom designed to hold virtually every shape of whiskey bottle.
Yeah. We made sure that it's even tall enough to hold like the E.H. Taylor barrels or the barrels. Tubes. You're not carrying a barrel.
No.
No barrels. No barrels in our bag.
Yeah, but E.H. Taylor tubes fit in there.
Yeah.
And then all the wide bottles too. So, check that out. And then last, you could support us by deciding to hire us to represent you in your residential real estate transaction, because we run a real estate business together in the Dallas and Houston metro areas. Mm-hmm. So if you need residential real estate services, consider hiring us. And if you do, you will be receiving an epic bottle as a closing gift. Yeah. And that is pretty much all we have for you today. But we do like to let you know why we do what we do, because we are all about bringing people together around whiskey. And that's because we lost my younger brother to suicide. And we were trying to find a way to help foster the kinds of connections that my brother was missing when he made his decision. And we saw whiskey bringing people together, and we thought, maybe if we can get you connected to whiskey, whiskey will do the rest of the job and get you connected to others. And so we started Bourbon Real Talk, the podcast, and eventually that led to us starting Bourbon Real Talk Community, which is a free Facebook-based whiskey enthusiast forum that you can go join right now. And we have no trolls in there. It's all positive, no drama. We moderate all of that stuff
Well,
out.
if there's drama.
If there's drama, we moderate it out. Yep. We get rid of the bad actors and all that stuff. 30,000 members strong as of the recording of this episode. And we knew we needed to do that because there were some trolls that were out there. And we don't need any of that negativity. We're trying to do good things in the world. And that's part of the reason why we parlayed all of this into starting a suicide prevention and intervention nonprofit called Live Stay Project. All of the board members are sourced from the whiskey enthusiast world. And, we have learned a lot from the negativity that's out there. And one of the things that we learned was that if somebody can be hateful to you online, there's nothing that keeps us from loving you online. And that's why we end every episode the same way, and that's this. If you woke up this morning and you are unsure whether or not anyone loved you, just know that we love you. We'll see you next time on Bourbon with Talk. Cheers.
And if you're crappy, have the day that you deserve. But if you're nice, then have the day you deserve. It can be snarky. It could be
snarky. You know what? If you think it's snarky, it probably is for you.
And you'll have a snarky day. You can't have a snarky day. That was dumb.
Bourbon.
With the homies. I feel like that intro is long.
It is.
Why is it so long?
So I wrote it that way.
I think it's too long.
You worry about yourself. Worry about yourself.
Oh, I heard you. That was a
All right, ready?
You were looking at me. I was like, are you about to cry? Are you going to cry, bro?